So Victor Oladipo thinks that the Oklahoma City Thunder have the best backcourt in the NBA today. Well, I think I have a little bit to say about that. And I thought it would be a fun video to talk about my top 5 backcourts in the NBA with some part gameplay in the back. If you enjoy this video, don't forget to leave a like, comment an idea like this. I like doing these top 5 type videos, top 5 backcourts. I can do top 5 big threes. By the way, this top 5 backcourts video, this is for this season, how well these guys have been playing this season, how good I think they are right now. Basically injuries, I took injuries basically out of account. I'm assuming everybody's healthy in this scenario. Yeah, if you enjoy this video, you haven't subscribed yet, gotta hit that sub button. And anything else to go over? Yeah, Twitter and gaming channel links in the description. But yeah, let's get into this. So I have a little bit of disagreements with Victor Oladipo here. I'm sorry, Victor, but you guys aren't the best backcourt, and you're not the second best, and you're not the third best or fourth best either. I think the 5th spot is a good spot for you. I considered many other backcourts for this 5th spot. It was close, guys. It was not easy making this list, but I think 5 is a good spot for these guys. But mostly the reason why these guys are even on this list isn't because of Victor Oladipo. Now, people in the comments might be like, well, you need a well-rounded backcourt. You need each player to be good in order to form a good backcourt. Well, if you have Russell Westbrook in your backcourt is automatically good, no matter who else is at shooting guard. Luckily, they got a pretty good player at shooting guard. I mean, a top 3 player on the squad in Victor Oladipo. Yeah, he's basically their second go-to guy. You need a bucket, you give it to Russell Westbrook. If Russell Westbrook's not on the court and Victor Oladipo is, automatically he's your guy to get you a basket. Okay, he can pull up, he can hit shots from basically anywhere, he can defend pretty well. You know, he's not the best shot maker, he's not the best at any one thing. He's got good athleticism though, and one thing this OKC backcourt has is athleticism. These guys jump out the gym, they're explosive, they can give you huge dunks. And you know, they are the Oklahoma City Thunder. I mean, you take these two guys off OKC, you don't really have a lot. You have probably like a 15 or 21 squad. I mean, if you took Russell Westbrook off OKC, you'd probably have the same thing. But we're not going to talk about that. It's about the backcourt, what these two guys formulate in total. So, yeah, it's a 2-person thing. All right, on to number 4, we got the Portland Trail Blazers. Damian Lillard and CJ McCollum, these two guys can score as many points in the backcourt as any backcourt in the league. I mean, either of these guys, they're elite shot makers, and that can be from anywhere on the court. Both these guys have great dribble moves, they can get inside and finish, and they both got deep range, good mid-range games. They've got everything. They've got the total package as scorers. As scorers, they're actually very similar. Damian Lillard is a little bit better at shooting the deep range ball, but they're both they're lightning quick. Lillard a little bit more athletic. I think he's overall a better scorer, but I think McCollum might be a better pure shooter. I mean, this guy's got really good shooting form. He's a really good spot-up guy. Lillard, you can really pull up from anywhere. They're both really good scorers, and they can both get into the lane and make plays for people as well. And this Portland Trail Blazers team has been playing well. Without these two guys on the team, there's really not much of this team. I mean, I know they're not in the playoffs now, but imagine where they'd be without these guys. I mean, it'd be pretty rough. Anyway, the one thing that absolutely, you know, that takes these guys off the top 3 for me is the fact that they have absolutely zero defensive ability, and that's huge. Now, it can be okay if one of your backcourt players doesn't play a whole lot of defense, but when you have 2 guys like this that really are just programmed to play the offensive end and exclusively the offensive end, I mean, you'll see a little bit of defense out of one of these guys every once in a while, but they're on the bottom end of the spectrum in terms of defense, and I can't put them in the top 3 for that. I mean, they do keep this team afloat. The only reason this team's in a playoff race is because of these 2 guys, but man, if they could D up, this team would be a whole lot better. They'd be a 6 or 7 seed, to me, at least, I think, because their defense is the problem with this team. The offense in this team is no problem. I mean, they can score whenever they want. They get buckets, this team as a whole, and they're really the main catalyst for that. At number 3, we're going to go with the Splash Brothers, Golden State Warriors. Backcourt consisting of Steph Curry and Klay Thompson. Everybody knows the Splash Brothers. A year ago, there would be no one even close to them. But they've fallen off. I mean, it's weird, especially Steph Curry, I would say. But the reason why they're this low is because of the simple fact that you've seen Kevin Durant go down, and they can't carry the load. Unlike the 2 backcourts above them, which, you know, this is the biggest difference between them. These two guys, they're struggling right now, having to carry the load for this team. Maybe it's just a phase, maybe they snap. But I know Steph Curry's shooting like a terrible three-point percentage lately. But to me, it's like these guys are pretty limited right now. You see Steph Curry struggle from three, and the team is struggling. They need his shooting to be good as a team. That helped them so much in terms of becoming that elite super team that they are now. Steph Curry's shooting ability. Klay Thompson, I feel, is very limited as a player, as a scorer. I know he can defend well, which puts them ahead of Portland because they got at least one guy that can defend pretty well. And you got the reigning two-time MVP, of course. He's still a star player in this league. I mean, there's no question about that. But like I said, it keeps them out of the top two just because they're not playing well. They can't play together. I mean, they play together and they've been together for a long time, but I mean, they're just not doing a good job of leading this team right now in terms of, how they're playing, their outputs. You expect more from these guys in a situation like this. Obviously, they have the best record in the league, but, when you got Kevin Durant and Draymond Green at your 3 and 4, I mean, that's pretty much the best 3-4 combination you can get, I think. I mean, in terms of versatility, those guys they check all the boxes in terms of what you want. You can have scoring. You get Kevin Durant to get a bucket anytime. You got defense. You got Draymond Green, arguably the defensive player of the year this year, and Kevin Durant, who's playing great defense. I just think their 3-4 combo is a lot better than their 1-2 combo, at least this year. Yeah, like I said last year, these guys will be number one, but this year, no, they're not number one. They've been good overall, but compared to what they've been before, I can't put them in the top two. Now we get on number 2. You see an example of what I'm talking about, what the Splash Brothers are missing. We got the Washington Wizards backcourt of John Wall and Bradley Beal. This is a backcourt that if you took these guys off of the team, you really wouldn't have a whole lot of wins on this Wizards squad. But you look at the Wizards, they're the number 2 seed right now, and it's because of these guys. If you take Kevin Durant off the Warriors, you don't have this good of a squad, I don't think. Which is weird because I feel like they should be winning games. They won a lot of games last year. Obviously, they had a good bench. But with the Wizards, it's like these guys, they run the show. They both put up around 23 a night. John Wall is an incredible playmaker. He's got great court vision. He finds everybody. He's a pick and roll master, and he kicks out to shooters extremely well, and he's got shooters, and that's where Bradley Beal comes in. I love the Wizards backcourt because you got two guys that can make big plays all game long. John Wall makes huge defensive plays. He gets to the rim, explosiveness, great playmaking. And Bradley Beal, I mean, this guy is a master shot creator. I mean, he gets you any shot you need. He's got a silky smooth shot. Shoot from anywhere, get to the basket. He's athletic. They both play off each other extremely well. They've gotten so much better at, their chemistry as a backcourt. And it was really hard for me to keep them out of number 1. So hard. But the truth is that I can't keep the Raptors backcourt out of number 1. And it might sound crazy. I mean, the Raptors are worse than the Wizards and everything like that. But with the Toronto Raptors, Kyle Lowry and DeMar DeRozan, this season at the beginning of the year, I was thinking like this. My mindset was like this. It was like, oh, Kyle Lowry is the best player on this team because he gives you everything. He's averaging 22, 7, and 5, shooting lights out from the 3-point line and the field, low turnovers, great defense. He's the playmaker. He's the leader of this team. He hits your big shots, while DeRozan is, your scorer. He shoots a lot of shots. He gets mid-range buckets, but he doesn't do a whole lot else than scoring. But DeMar DeRozan actually did so good this year that he's making me question that. Is DeMar DeRozan really not better than Kyle Lowry? I know Kyle Lowry's still that all-around player, but DeMar DeRozan has become, he's turned into a leader. I mean, you see what happened when Kyle Lowry went out, how the Raptors played. He's hitting huge shots down the stretch, big threes, deep threes, game-winning shot against the Knicks. He's been huge. He's had so many 30-plus point games. The guy is going ballistic on the offensive end. He scores from everywhere. He's so, it seems like the type of player that, it wouldn't be that hard to guard him. You know what he's going to do, but you just can't stop him. And DeMar DeRozan has drastically improved his ball handling ability, playmaking ability. His all-around game has just gotten better, and I think he's right there with Kyle Lowry now. Lowry is still fantastic to me just because he covers all of the bases. He checks all the boxes. You know what I'm saying? The guy can shoot it. The guy can drive it. He can pass it. Rebound for a 6-foot guard. He gets a ton of rebounds, and he defends extremely well, and he leads a team. And this team is just them. I mean, last year they won 56 games. Who else did they have on their team doing anything? Like, it was literally just them, and that's why they couldn't win games in the playoffs. It's because everybody's keying in on those two guys. They know that nobody else can do anything, but the fact that they can win 56 games with these two guys doing that. I know you guys might be like, oh, well, they don't do anything in the playoffs, so how are they better? Well, I think that if they get a good team around them, look at the Splash Brothers. They got a great team around them, and they're able to do their thing and not get burnt out and stuff. I think the Raptors have that similar type of team around them, those two guys, Lowry and DeRozan, then they can make similar progress. And same with the Wizards. The Wizards, actually, they do have a really good team around them. Not as good. I wouldn't say their support's as good as the Warriors by any means, which is why I think the Wizards are better, or the Wizards backcourt's better, because they don't have as much support. That team is nothing without them. But the Raptors, it's more so, and they've won. I mean, they've struggled this season, but I still take those two guys. They're two superstar players. That are, I mean, they're so good. I can't stress it enough. Anyway, what do you guys think of this list? What's your list? Who do you think is the best backcourt? Where do you think Oladipo and the Thunder backcourt ranks? Do you think he was right or wrong about his statement? Let me know in the comments section. And yeah, like this shit up if you enjoyed. Subscribe if you're new. And yeah, that's it. I'm out. Thanks for watching, y'all. Peace.